What up, LC heads? Alright, it is time to take this bad mamma jamma. I do want to swap out his arc. We're going to try the temple run. I used to do a lot of benchmarks in here. It's just good and dandy to do. Which one do I want to bring? Break plus 50%. Okay. Yeah, I think this one will do. Let's see how we do here. This guy's not fully built. He did already take some god tier levels, some of the easier ones, but they're still god tier levels with hard minions. This level is hard though. A lot of characters have a hard time here just because you have to instantly dump. I do have this character with something that gives him a bunch of SCT at a boss wave. Comes in very handy here. So does his little anima. I was kind of hoping I could... Oh, there we go. I got some spell off. I want to try to poison as many of them as I can because Homeboy is equipped with a claw that does 50% more damage to enemies that are poisoned. Stop running up to him. I'm like trying to get you away in a corner so you can cast. And you are just like, oh, yeah, I'll cast it. But let me run up to them first. I do need to thin the herd here a little bit. S3 does great damage if I can just hit him with it. There we go. We even got a break in. That's why I brought that arc. And let's just start dumping everything while we have that break. Can we get our S4 in time? Great. Thought maybe I was going to have to throw some magic in there. I wouldn't have had time to cast it. I don't expect as much damage out of this. I haven't really powered this thing up. But I'm happy to have it here because I do need to kill the stupid birds. They get in the way. What's really cool about this character is his survivability. I mean, for a mage, he literally actually tanks this level. Like, it just comes down to this. This guy has to fight me, and as soon as my health gets low, as long as I have MP left, like, this guy heals really well. Pretty impressive, actually. So I've noticed how resilient he is. It's crazy for a mage. It's like, he can't heal other people, but he himself is covered with healing. Like, he'll keep himself healed. Hopefully with this arc I can just break him a few times because he can kill me if he just consecutively just beats the shit out of me with that thing. Surprisingly though, like I said, like even my little snow bunny and fleece Alice, when I ran her around in here, she had issues. Like, I had to wait until she could make it through here. Like, look, his health just fully healed up again. I'm about to break this fool. One of the best things I could do is wait to charge my kit a little bit before I break him, because this guy's kit is so deadly. There's just so much damage that comes out of it. One of the biggest things you need to do with this guy is charge his kit. Like, look at this guy's health go down. And he does have 95 resistance to dark, and I'm doing all dark. Of course, I do have a spear equipped that is negating some of that, but still, this is, you know, technically a harder fight for this character. He's doing fairly well here, right? And this isn't an easy map. You can try to solo this with a lot of characters. They will kind of have a hard time in here because this guy can hit so hard. You really got to be able to hit and run. The only way I see myself losing this is when he spams his hammer at the end. I could overcome that by just putting more speed on this character for a couple SC and letting him actually run circles around this guy, get out of his threat range with that big hammer swing. But I think we might have it. Don't want to speak too soon. We just might. He's going to go crazy now, though. I am charged up, though, with my summon. I don't know if that's gonna help. There we go. Oh, we somehow broke him of that, and he's almost broke for reals. Here we go. Oh, the S3 might finish him off, and then if it doesn't, it's great damage. You know what? I got an S1. I got an S1 right there. Have faith in this guy's kit. Even his basic attack's pretty great. I don't even think I need a spell to finish this guy off, although he is trying to get buff AF right now. But my skill came in time. So this is a pretty cool clear for him. Because I'll show you guys something silly. I was actually kind of worried for a second. Here's why I was worried. I'll show you right now real quick. And this guy's by no means maxed. And he performed well here. But I expected better performance out of him in the event. Fighting the big Abaddon blob. We'll go try to do that real quick. And we'll see how awesome he does there. Because you would think after that performance, being able to spam his way through there, kicking Abaddon's ass here in a level 60 fight. Now granted, you're supposed to bring a whole party here, and he is soloing it. Let's see how he does here. This one actually becomes a pain for him because mechanically speaking, he tries to get behind Abaddon and do his... Pretty much half of this guy's kit is going to be interrupted when you target Abaddon. That's just the way that this fight's set up. I don't know. I don't think it's on purpose. I honestly think it's kind of like that on accident. If you walk up too close to him, you automatically get hit. So if you try to use your ability kit, it'll just counter out some of your damage from you getting hit by him while you're trying to run up to him like I'm doing right now. If you get lucky, if you find the right spot, you can spam your S1 a few times and he'll hit him and jump back and hit him and jump back. But a lot of times, somehow you'll get hit there and it'll interrupt and waste your kit. This guy's biggest weakness is getting his kit interrupted because he has such a high modifier, and that's where so much of his damage seems to come from. This is a good spot right here because you can damage the worms and this fool at the same time. Let's see if I had something to break. This guy also has resistance to dark, of course. They didn't want to make it too easy on us with the drop of this character, so they gave us a bunch of stuff to fight that does have dark resistance. He's still been doing pretty damn good, and his resiliency is ridiculous. As soon as he starts taking damage, like, I'm not even sure he'll die right now. He's at 2,000, gets hit a couple more times, and then he's just healed up to full health. There he goes. It's crazy. And that keeps happening as long as he has MP. And the guy seems to have a lot of MP. There we go. They just had a chance to crush me there, and, well, they didn't. I'm going to attack the worms here, see if I can do anything to them. Ooh. The S3 does great damage. Again, kind of hard to target Abaddon. I can hit him with my basic attack from way up here, but if I try to use my skill, the guy tries to run into, like, literally tries to run into his mouth and gets hit. So I'm better off, like, literally hitting him with my basic attack until he breaks and then trying to dump some damage. Even when he gets broken, he does throw some kind of little spell, so it interrupts you while he's broken. Makes it harder to combo on him. So this fight can actually kind of be annoying as a solo run for this character. It just does not work out that well. But I'm about to be able to break him, so I really need to save this kit. I'm worried though that even if he's broken, if the worms are here, they'll just get in my way. Well, at least I'm hitting them a little bit. And here hopefully I'll heal up a little bit soon. Get myself back up to the that threshold where as soon as my health gets low again, his healing kicks in, that auto healing, whatever it is. Uh-oh, my health gets low here. I do have a, well, there we go. It healed up by 8,000. So it's pretty ridiculous how resilient he is. He's the only one I've seen so far that literally has this auto healing thing on this level. Now, I probably could have brought a better arc with me here. That gave me probably a little bit better damage. or made it so that they took more dark damage. Maybe this could be going a little bit better for me. Don't really have much. I can't poison this guy. He does have dark resist is like the only resist he has, of course. And he is resistant to poison. If he does become poison, then I can do 50% more damage to him, and Lord knows I'll try. Look at that. Getting healed right back up. As long as I keep these worms contained. He's catching some damage back there, but as you can tell, this is a lot harder. This is much harder than the ogre fight I just did, and that's a level 80 fight. This is a level 65. Now, of course, this is much easier with a party to help you control, you know, the worms. They get in the way. They can do great damage when they thrash. But I'm surprised at how tanky this guy is for a mage. I gotta say, this guy is the tankiest mage in the game so far. I only call him a mage because that's what his classification is. Really, to me, this guy's more of a rogue. He reminds me of Zox. He's kit dangerous. I'm going to have to see how good his S4 gets because I haven't really, you know, worked on this character. Started him up, but his S4 seems to do good damage even at a low level. Mine's very low tier. Does seem to do some pretty good AoE, but really I think his kit is where it's at. Getting that backstab, flying around all over the place, cutting people off. Let's see. If I target this worm with the S2, I should be able to hit Abaddon as well. Let's see. I do like how it's some kind of like... What is he doing there? I don't know, some kind of like laser gun thing he does. He jumps behind you and just shoots the hell out of you. Oh, and there's my 8,000 health. I needed it. I was getting low. Let's just do attacks on him. Basic attacks. It's like, I don't want to waste all my MP. And it's like, oh, I am like at full MP. Every time my health goes down and I heal all the way up, it costs 30 MP. That's really not shit for this guy. I also need to keep remembering to kind of get back away from the worms. And then dive in from a distance and do some damage to them before I get stunned like this. Stun resist would also be nice here too, but this really just showcases how durable this guy is because these worms, they're going to hit you good and do good damage for you, and the fact that he can survive that, like, look at that, that's great damage, and they can stun you. So you need to deal with these damn worms as quick as possible. Unfortunately, it cost me a lot of my kit. Let's see if we can just get some magic while the worms are coming up so that I can deal with them. And this guy's about to break. He about to bust. So let's just try to save our kit for breaking this fool. Let's just run back. Get some Venomous Rainfall going to deal with the worm. Why would you run up to him to cast Venomous Rainfall? Now it's not going to go off for sure. Oh, there we go. You know, here, I was going to say we'll deal with the worms with the S4, but this is going to work out great. Because as soon as I'm not unconscious, I'll break him and drop the S4. Maybe even try to get a spell in there. Doesn't matter because I keep healing. I keep healing, so it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, break this fool with an attack, a basic attack. Alright, we're back in it. You guys see how much more of a pain in the ass this fight is just because of how it's structured? Wow, that S4 actually did pretty good damage there. And this S3, I think, might just top this fool off. See, we're even still taking damage when we're jumping up into his mouth, into his grill. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this guy. He is past level 100. I haven't really gotten the rest of his kit. I've just been, chasing those, what are the wards, the ward bonuses. So I'm getting my extra 1% to dark damage, and oh, I'm getting an extra 100 to my damage cap today. Because I did take Mr. Lograbo's ward, so I got 100 to special damage cap, dark damage cap plus 100 from Lou himself. 2B, I got physical damage cap plus 100 with swords, and I got light damage cap 100. So I'm working on it. Yeah, been having a lot of fun though, just running these bosses. You guys want to compare this level 100 Shida real quick? Check this out. Might not be the fairest comparison, but here is Homegirl I've been working on, right? And let's just give her anything here. There's some kind of... There we go. Some kind of mage arc. I'll give her some intelligence, because her intelligence is not that high at all. Pretty much what I've found is, if I start off with Blazing Anima real quick, and mind you, this girl does not have anything on her to increase her casting speed besides just the gear that she comes with and her ability kit. So I'm going to go, you know, I don't want to insta-kill him, so I'm not going to drop her S4 and break him even more. I'm just going to go straight into Big Bang. And as soon as it casts, then I go into Burning Strike, her weakest spell, right? And then that cast, Burning Strike's already going off while Big Bang is cast, and I start casting Big Bang again. And right now, Burning Strike is getting kind of smashed in there. We're already at another Big Bang. Here's another Burning Strike to stack it on top of it all at the same time. It works out super well. I've noticed some for some reason or another, by going back and forth like that, if I just go Big Bang back to back, for some reason it feels like it takes a little bit longer. I don't know. I don't know if they did that on purpose so that spell linkage would not absolutely rape with it, getting more damage. Well, it seems like you're already hitting damage cap with it anyway, almost no matter what, but maybe for harder content, spell linkage would work with that. But I don't know, I seem to be able to get off pretty good damage by just going between Big Bang and, you know, her low tier spell. But look how much easier of a clear that was. Now, of course, this guy doesn't have fire resistance, right? So that's my thing right now that I'm trying to adjust for Shida. I'm pretty much... Well, I'm all out of these. I have to go into these. Yeah, for this individual here, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I definitely want to stick with a strength build on him. I really do enjoy his kit. The biggest problem I see in getting him empowered is charging his kit. Charging his kit really quick. A big boost in power that I've given him, that I've noticed, has been the phone booth. Because as soon as at boss wave, unit recovers 50% hit points, which, okay, whatever, but 30 seconds SCT and 10% special gauge. The 30 seconds SCT helps him fill his kit. So yeah, imaginary weapon's amazing. It's really what it comes down to is you can give this guy any weapons you want. So right here with mine, I can put this spear style on him. When a spear is equipped, physical damage plus 15% and chance to nullify enemy guard. Shockwave is chance to nullify enemy guard, and it's 6 SC, right? So that's awesome, giving him an awesome spear that negates some dark resistance, and for 3 more SC, not only am I getting a chance to negate guard, but I'm getting, you know, physical damage plus 15% because the spear is technically equipped. And I have the claws. I don't know if I want to put a claw boost on him. I could give him a dark sword, and then put some sword boost, sword high boost. I also have spear boost to put on him too, so I want to see how the spear thing works out with him, but ultimately you can put anything you want on him. I also haven't tried the Trisla pistol on him yet. So can't wait to do that. I think this feather thing works great. More crit damage, can't go wrong. I do need to put more crit on this guy, but all in all, he's pretty fun. I was kind of worried when I started, you know, trying to solo that boss, but I was like, you know what, I better check some of the other benchmarks. Of course, he absolutely, you know, destroyed the ogre fight where you have to start off just swinging off rip. Alice had, you know, took me a few tries there with Alice. He managed to do it on the first try. There's quite a few characters that I've ran that have been right about this dude's power level, or a little bit under it, where they were really having a hard time to clear. Even the androids, before obviously they were level 110 and fully maxed out, which is a whole different story. But right when the androids were about like this power, level 100, which I know the 100 level doesn't really matter much, but the ability tree being where it's at and having around 70 SC, that is right around when I was running the androids through there. I'm gonna tell you right now, 2B could make it because she was so quick and I had to put some speed in her kit. A2 had a harder time in there and wasn't even clearing it until I built her a little bit more. The fact that this guy can tank that, can tank all those birds and get hit with that hammer, for anybody else it's pretty much an instant death sentence, but this guy, his auto heal is something, I'm even wondering if it's broken. It's like seriously on that level. So if you think about it, what that does for a party is that makes one less person you need to heal. So your healer only has to concentrate now on one person. Maybe once in a great while he'll have to throw this guy a heal. And he can do awesome roguish kit type damage where he's all over the place. I want to run him around a little bit more and get a better feel for... I don't think Abaddon's a good fight, because like I said, you can't get behind him and there's weird spots where you get hit. But I think in a lot of other fights, if you actually, you know, use this guy to hit and run, you know, run away, then use one of these abilities where he teleports, and I think you can do a lot with him. So I'm sticking with the strength build for now. I've heard a lot of different things, a lot of different builds though. So far I'm happy with him. Kind of wish that the S4, instead of having the ability to insta-kill, which we really don't give a shit about, I just kind of wish it had a dark break instead, which would really do this guy some good. That way you wouldn't have to bring stuff like that with him. You know, you could just save all your SC for deadly damage instead of having to bring things that break dark resistance if you don't have anybody else that's doing that in the party, because this guy really needs to be able to break some dark resistance, or just to fight something neutral to dark. You know, dark is breakable though, so it just doesn't seem like this guy really has any way to do that. It does say that he has a chance with his attacks to break resistances and do extra damage, but we'll have to see what that's all about. So far though, very interesting guy, very cool. I dig that he's kind of like, I don't know, he almost gives me a bad guy vibe. Kind of funny, right? I mean, I would think him and Lou would make an awesome team. I think Lou can break some dark and has some more utility like that built in. Lou can also heal, and this guy doesn't need to be healed, so they both get to like come back to life, I think. Well, anyone can come back to life depending on what abilities you give them, but I think this guy and Lou make a killer party, and then just whoever else you want in there, potentially do a lot of damage. And I don't know, it's crazy because to me this guy is like Zox in a way, who doesn't steal items for you. I'm actually kind of surprised there's not some kind of treasure bind in his seems very roguish to me. Wasn't expecting it. It's got a cool spray. I like how he flies around the screen. He doesn't walk, he does fly. So hey, I've had him for one day. His stats are pretty amazing, right? The traits are very straightforward, but when you factor in, like, these stats are straightforward, they don't seem like the best thing in the world, but remember, this guy can use any weapons. So when you kind of equip, like when you factor that in, the fact that this guy can take any weapons and use any of them proficiently and get a bonus for him, I think that gives him a huge advantage. Because then you can mix and match more abilities that are actually on the weapons themselves. and still get an awesome weapon bonus for having any weapon equipped. So having lots of fun with him. Can't wait to see what I can do with him. And it's like you build the best party that you can, and whatever good gear you have laying around, hey, you can give it to this guy if you have him laying around, right? He can really fit into a party and provide you with dark damage, some sort of break. His enema is kind of weird. I typically would run a different enema if my little region of fire chick is there. I would rather run hers because it breaks resistance. It's breaking light and fire, but I would rather have hers up. His, what is it, minus strength and intelligence, it's making the enemy a little bit weaker. Offensively, I mean, it's alright if you're soloing, but I typically would have a different one up. If I could, I'd have an enema up that reduces dark resistance or makes you take more dark damage. That would be more beneficial to this guy, IMO, but that's the one they gave him. To me, it's kind of a weird fit, but all his other custom stuff is really cool and awesome. He does come with good resistances, like he's got stun resist already, nil, curse, silence. I don't know how many spells I'm going to use this guy to cast. It's one of these things where I even thought, like, could I put buffs on him and stuff like that? But I really kind of feel like he should rely on some of his magic when the fight starts till he charges up his kit. And then when his kit is charged, that's when he's going to do the really good damage. So, I don't know. I don't see myself throwing that many spells with him. I'm going to try to work on just feeding his kit and being able to dump out of his kit. I think it's rewarding, and that's the way I'm going to go with it. So, anybody has any better advice, or if I'm missing something, please let me know. Share with the class. But here's my first impression of Shida, because, yeah, I literally got him like an hour ago. So, it's been a blast. Hope you enjoyed. Finally got him. We've cleared this banner. Happy 2.5. Happy 2.5, everybody. Later.